I apologise in advance for the audio this week. I forgot my microphone and my lav mic doesn't work with my new phone, so the audio is going to be horrendous, but better to have a video than not have a video. Yeah. I also only have like half a day to work today, so I'm going to try and get some of the Portlights sealed up, and I need to do a little bit more thinking around the hatch. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks then I can make the hatch. I'm also hoping tomorrow to go and visit a friend on his boat, so I'll do a little bit of videoing of that too, but it's just going to be more Portlights again this week. So before I left last week, I actually decided to put one of the hull Portlights in with duct tape, just to hold them in while they seal. So they've sealed in really nicely, and there's two more done. There's one on the starboard side as well, or on the port side as well. Last week actually, what was it? It was on one of my previous videos. Someone passionately disagreed with the way I was doing the windows. So I have no problem with people kind of disagreeing with the way I'm doing something. There might be plenty of ways of doing something. But if you do disagree with something that I'm doing, prove or show me why it's wrong. And generally I'll agree with you. But I've actually linked the 295 UV user manual in my description. So for anybody who's kind of unsure as to how I'm doing the windows, have a read of that first and then come back to me after that. So I've got two of the whole Portlights done now, and I'm hoping to do the rest of them today. I'm probably going to run out of seat reflex, and we're in the chandelier is closed today, so I'm not going to be able to get any more. But I'm nearly there. I'm nearly at the point now where all the hull lights, or all the Portlights are sealed up. Next step then will be to seal the fore hatch, and then I've got some fiberglass on order for my sliding hatch. So that'll get the boat to a point now where it's actually waterproof or rainproof. So that's really exciting. But today I'm just going to be working more on some hull Portlights, and that's pretty much all I've got to do this weekend, because I've only got a day at it this weekend, so I'll try and make it interesting. Considering I can't work on the boat today, I said I'd take a walk around one of the boat yards up in Cork and have a look at other boats for ideas. I'm actually meeting Simon down here as well, and we're going to go look at his boat too. He's got a 28 footer that he's been restoring for the last while, and hoping to do some sailing on that this summer. So I'm just going to take a walk around, have a look at some nice boats and see what I can find. So yeah, pretty long and exhausting day. I was up early. I had to take photos for a friend of mine at like a charity event. So after that then I went to look at with all of the boats in Cossaven. I looked at my friend Simon's boat, and I looked at another guy's boat who he had actually built it from scratch. So it was really cool to see a boat that somebody had built from scratch and ask him loads and loads of questions. So it gives me confidence. I also got to play around with one of my other toys, that one, just taking pictures of it and cleaning it and stuff. It's good to get a bit of a break every so often from the boat. And I know this wasn't an overly boaty video with regards to boat work, but sometimes the weekends don't line up that well. But anyway, next weekend I have a full weekend at the boat and I've got loads planned, so I hope to get at least a bit of that done, and I'll shoot a video next week and I'll see you then. Thanks. One last thing before I go. In my last episode, a couple of people commented, or was it only one person? Anyway, in my head it was a couple of people. A couple of people asked if I'm still living in the van, and I think I mentioned in my last video that I was staying with my dad during the weekends, and I was staying in the van during the week. So what I do is I work Monday to Friday in the city. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Zora, and then during the week I stay in the van. I sleep in my van, and I go to work as normal. Then on a Friday afternoon when I leave work, I go down to my dad's, and I stay down at my dad's, which is about 25 minutes from the boat. So then I commute back and forth to the boat. In the summer, when the weather's a bit better, I'll stay on the boat, because that'll save me a bit of time commuting back and forth to my dad's and the boat. So this is the van. If you've seen any of my older episodes, you've seen bits and bobs of this, but the bed is here and the cooker and all that kind of stuff is here. Right now it's a bit of a mess because I've just been cleaning it out and taking everything out and clearing it up. I rent a shed as well, so where I keep my car and my tools, and that's my van. I stay in the van then near, just around the place. It's actually really nice. It's pretty well set up. There's no sheets on it now at the moment, so it's a bit messy, but I really need to clean it so bad. But I have bits of storage, and I keep my clothes in here, and then during the week I stay in there, and the weekends I go home. So that was just anybody who was wondering. And the reason I do that, the reason I live in the van, is because I'm purely trying to save money to do the boat. And the fact, if I get comfortable in a house and start renting a house, the pressure will be off me to get the boat done. So I really want to keep the pressure on, get the boat done, get onto it so I can live on it. Anyway, I'm rambling. If anyone wants to see more about the van, let me know in the comments, and I'll do a full van tour next time. Thanks.